These are our chief guests for today. We also have other directors in the room from Tata Chemicals who are sitting with us. But for the purpose, I will leave it for that, so we can go ahead and welcome the two gentlemen to go ahead and take the stage. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Can I get the mic?
Yes, please.
So,
Yeah, I can.
yeah. But let us go to him again.
No, no,
It's okay.
I'll put it.
We'll move it.
Okay. So, good afternoon, and thank you for being here. And we just thought we will have a press briefing, especially at a time when post-COVID the conditions of business is improving, and we are reviewing our own strategy forward. What should we do? And we've had very fruitful meetings yesterday amongst all the entire board, and we wanted to just sort of communicate our direction forward. Broadly, I just wanted to start by saying Tata Group is India's largest and the most respected group, working across several sectors like steel, power, telecommunication, software, hotels, airlines. So we have a turnover of over 120 billion. I think the number is increasing every day, and we have close to 1 million employees around the world, and we operate in almost every country in the world. In terms of Africa itself, we have large presence in East Africa as well as in South Africa, where our operations are there. We also have presence in Morocco through a joint venture of Tata Chemicals. Our main operations in Kenya has long been our presence through Tata Motors, TCS, and also with Tata Magadi. Tata Magadi for Tata Chemicals is a very critical and very important entity, because this is about 12 to 14% of our natural soda ash which we make. Worldwide, we make about 2.8 million tons of natural soda ash, and worldwide we make about 2.8 million tons of natural soda ash, and of that 350,000 tons is produced here in Kenya. The balance factory is in United States. Out of the 4.5, the balance approximately 1.1 million tons is actually produced between UK and India. The Kenyan product is unique because it is dredged off a lake and is transported. It has a very low carbon footprint and is mainly used for the making of container glass, which effectively replaces plastics and is hence very environmentally friendly in its final application. In terms of our vision always has been leadership with trust, which effectively means we want to lead in every business we do. And Tata Chemicals Magadi actually is the largest soda ash company in Africa. So it is a leader in that sense. And also a leading company in terms of earning foreign exchange, precious foreign exchange for Kenyan economy. I will focus more on the word trust, because while we want to lead, we want to do the business in such a way we have trust of people and trust of communities, employees, and our customers as a key element, and that continues to guide our long-term vision. And as I started by saying that we have looked at the growing positive sentiment around the world for all products, and especially the products we make, and it is indeed very heartening to say that most of the world has come out of the impact of COVID, and all of us are looking very positively at the future. And Magadi also has been through a massive transformation during this period and is looking to grow using all the levers possible in a climate smart way, focusing on things like renewable and making sure that everything we do aligns with our customers who are also demanding more sustainable growth. In terms of the Magadi specific plans, I will leave it to my colleague and the Managing Director of Tata Chemicals Magadi to give you a complete overview before a question and answer. Thank you, and over to you, Subodh.
Thank you, Mukund. Just push it. Oops, that's heavy. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to this press meet. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'll talk a little bit about our company, Tata Chemicals Magadi Limited. It is situated about 120 kilometers southeast of Nairobi. It's a natural lake where we have naturally occurring trona, which is a precursor to making soda ash. This company is one of the oldest companies of this country. It's about 110 years old. It was founded in about 1910, 11 it has been producing. We are nested in a community which we work together with. I think you might have heard about the work we do in terms of water supply and the education support and the hospital we run. That's some of the few things we do. We also are the leading exporter of this country, not the single largest, but maybe the second largest. We do contribute about 6% of the foreign exchange earning comes from us for this country, and we are very proud of it. So, yes, we do have now plans to grow. We had a tough time in the past. We have gone past it. Now we are really looking at growth through some innovative solutions, smart solutions, climate smart solutions. And that's what Mr. Mukundan also shared. So that's what I had to say. Anything you would like to add?
We're happy for the Q&A, please.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Subodh. Thank you, Subodh, and thank you, Mr. Mukundan.
You can just lean in and speak.
What we'll do is we'll give you an open-ended question and answer session. So based on that background, you can actually then just tell us which media house you represent, and then tell us what question you have, and you can go ahead and let's have an open conversation with the two gentlemen. Thank you. Who wants to shoot first? I can see the name. NTV. Yeah?
Good afternoon, all. My name is Mitra from K24. So my question was, you said you're coming from the COVID period, and some of the strategy you're looking at as improving your company. Perhaps you can give us pointers or highlights of that, and which are some of the climatic smart solutions you're looking at since we are having a climate.
You would like to take that?
Yeah, maybe we can combine things here.
Yeah, Frederick Walking from KBC. My question is based on I wanted you to maybe talk further about the global demand supply situation. And again, I understand that we have been in quite tough economic times. And are you satisfied? Maybe to tell us also more about the costs of taxation when it comes to imports and exports in terms of the ease of business.
So, thank you. I'll just start by saying that, firstly, when we look at the demand for the products worldwide, it did take a big dip during COVID, naturally so, because the consuming industries reduced their demand, and secondly, there were also supply chain bottlenecks, because the ports were not fully operational, the shipping lines, and then there was a container shortage on top of that. So even if there was demand, there was greater difficulty in reaching the customers. Happy to say that last 1 year, that increasingly, last 6 months, we've seen all those bottlenecks disappear. The demand is back to pre-COVID levels, and has now is looking to be going beyond the pre-COVID levels. So we are going to see positive momentum. In terms of ease of doing business within Kenya, I think our experience in Kenya has been extremely positive, especially in terms of our work with the local talent, local community, and with all the people associated with export of products. We have not faced any major issues at all. And we certainly believe there's a constant need to improve the infrastructure for the logistics of the product. And all the efforts which have been put in, I think we are working very closely in terms of making sure the material movement and the product movement is as efficient as possible. Certainly, there is a scope for further improvement, and we are actually gladdened by the efforts which have been put by various authorities to improve the circumstances. If you look at the road transportation, certainly it has improved. The rail, there's been SGR which has been built, and I think the issue for us is to reach that rather than use of SGR itself. And lastly, I think the port also has improved its operations over a period of time. In terms of our own internal economic situation, I think we have focused on reducing energy consumption. We have actually reduced our HFO consumption, I think, by a factor of, we are today less than 20% of what we used to consume HFO, if you ask me 5 years ago when we went through a very difficult period. And we are focused on energy efficiency. The second element we have also focused on is looking at water availability, and I would say water efficiency. For the community especially, I think we have built at least several amount of check dams, two in the offing. Also renewed all the pipelines and drinking water availability so that the company, while it is improving its operation, it also improves the access to water to community. So I think going forward, we would also focus on looking at how can we look at more greening, how can we improve the tree plantation in those areas, and how can we improve the green cover and the water availability. These will be our focus areas in terms of working with community. I must add also, as far as community is concerned, we are working also very closely with them on the area of education, because we believe the local talent and local education is very important. As you would have noticed in the note itself, we've highlighted 300 graduates have benefited from bursary. We also support senior secondary school students. That number is about 800, and every year we are constantly looking at people from that area where our factory is located in in and around Magadi, that the local community gets to benefit and go to occupy higher position. For us, it's a matter of pride that our vice chairman and our director on the board, both of them are actually from the local community. So we would continue to work and engage, and these are all fruits of work which has been going on for a long time, and we will continue the good work.
Any other questions, anybody? I know that Eric had a question. You still have your question there?
Hello, my name is Eric from Bloomberg, and my question is with regard to the outlook for global prices. What does that look like now that demand has gone beyond pre-COVID levels? Thank you.
So, we are a listed company, so I won't give sort of any indicative forward-looking statement, but certainly to say that the prices are at a level where they're beyond pre-COVID today, and will continue to be in that level because the supply-demand situation is rather balanced. So we don't expect any big shifts in the end market prices. There is, of course, a small reduction in the what the customer pays because the shipping freight has come down. But if you take the freight element out, the product prices today support growth and expansion of capacities. Because overall, if you look at it, the world will need almost, I think, 4 to 5 million tons of new capacity to come on stream in various parts. And we believe the Magadi Soda Company has a role to play in that growing demand, especially in the African and in the, let's say, the Indian Ocean Rim, which is South Asia and Southeast Asia customers. So that's the main reason why we are looking at growth in this part of the world too. And we are looking at growth in all our operations in India, Kenya, and US, all of them, but Kenya will play its part.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Good afternoon, my name is Nina Shaban and I'm from NTV. I'd just like to know, as a manufacturer, there's been talks that there will be rise in tariffs as of the 1st of April, and of course this might affect productivity and Batari for main energy and power. What I'd like to know your sentiments when it comes to that.
Referring to the electricity tariffs and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think the country, I think, needs to keep looking at green energy, and that's something which we are exploring in terms of the solar energy possibilities and how to use it in our processes. Our way to look at it. But I think in larger economies, I think there are some cost drivers which happen and which leads to certain tariff increase from time to time. I think that's a very natural course of things, and it plays out itself, and that's the way it is. But across the world, we've seen these kind of things happening, and that's okay. I think the business continues. I think that's what we would say, and we look at greening the energy requirements, how to green them, how to reduce cost on that aspect, how to do that. So that's our effort.
May I add a bit to this? I think if you look at Kenya itself, it's one of the greenest producers of energy power today, with over 90% at most of the time being through green sources, geothermal and other sources. So I think really Kenya is in a very unique position. And secondly, I think Tata Magadi also is looking at green solutions in terms of solar power, where our proposal for 10 megawatt is going through approval process. We hope that gets ratified. And there are three levers we are looking at. One is the lever of energy efficiency, so that we become more efficient in use of energy. Second is what Subodh and I have already highlighted, that is shift to green sources, so that we don't get impacted by changes in oil prices and other prices. And lastly, I think we are also looking at what can we do with our own overall profile of the product, in the sense that at the consumption end, can we look at customers also saving on energy. So the entire energy is a 360-degree view. One is at the source, second is at our own use of energy, and also at our customer end. We are looking at all of them. Hopefully this work with customers and partners is going to be a continuing journey for us. And really this is a unique position which Kenya also needs to sort of translate and amplify when the messaging goes out, that the power in Kenya actually is largely renewable. This is not known in many, we know it because we are here, but we don't hear this from others. And worldwide there is a premium for products which are made with green source. So hopefully the Kenyan products will get a bit more premium than what we have today.
Anyone else with a question? Any other questions? Any understanding that you want to have of the company and its operations? Back to you.
I just feel like asking this question. Have you, in any situation, encountered the challenge of counterfeiting of your products, and if, by any chance, what solutions have you put in place to ensure that that doesn't happen?
You want to answer it?
Luckily, bulk of our sales is to other businesses. We don't sell to final consumer. This counterfeiting is a big issue when you sell to final consumer in small packs, but we are really selling it to big customers like console glass and glass companies and container companies, ADA and other glass companies. So in India, in Kenya, in India, and in Southeast Asia. So really, we ensure that our transportation, our containers are secure, and customers get exactly the product they pay for. And we haven't come across, at least in our chain, but since you highlight, we'll be more watchful.
Anybody else's question? Any burning questions? Maybe I should ask you guys a question. Nice kidding. But thank you. If there's no other questions? I guess we'll bring it to a close if everybody has a particular question that they want to understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
I
very
just
much.
will give a bit of a closing. Yeah.
Actually,
Just wanted to thank all of you, and I wanted to close on a note that I think as world moves towards looking more positively with optimism, despite there are a bit of the kind of difficulty we've had due to unfortunate war in Europe, but I think we believe that world is moving towards more positive outlook. I think Kenya has a strong opportunity, and we want to play and engage with our operations in Kenya to participate in that opportunity. And thank you all for the support and your good wishes. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Mukutan. Thank you very much, Subud. I think it will be a very fitting or unfitting if I didn't just follow up on what you said, that we have very senior people who are also Kenyan, who are on the board of this company, and they are here with us. And these are actually locals who come from the same community in the area. We have Dr. Stephen Moiko, who is the director of TATA Chemicals Company. He's sitting right there with us. And then we have Dr. Titus Naikuni, who is the vice chairman and also director of the company. Dr. Naikuni is right there with us. And then we have finally Mr. Zavir Lugarva, who's also a director of the company. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate your time, and really thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.